This is the story of a man whom I would describe as a seeker. A seeker is someone who searches, not necessarily someone who finds, nor is he necessarily someone who knows what he is looking for. He is simply someone for whom life is a quest. One day, the seeker felt a compelling urge to go to the city of Camir. He had learned to heed these deep, mysterious instincts that emerged from an unknown part of himself. So he left everything behind and set off. After 2 days of traveling on dusty roads, he finally glimpsed the city of Camir in the distance. Just before reaching the town, a hill to the right of the path caught his eye. It was cloaked in wonderful greenery, dotted with numerous trees, birds, and charming growing flowers, and was completely encircled by a small, polished wooden fence. A small bronze gate beckoned him to enter. Suddenly, he felt the town slip from his mind, and he gave in to the temptation to rest for a moment in that place. The seeker passed through the gate and began to slowly walk among the white stones, scattered seemingly at random among the trees. He let his eyes flutter like butterflies over every detail of this multicolored paradise. His eyes were those of a seeker, and perhaps that's why he noticed an inscription on one of the stones. Abdul Tariq lived 8 years, 6 months, 2 weeks, and 3 days. He was slightly startled to realize that this stone was not just a stone, it was a tombstone. He felt a pang of sorrow at the thought that a child of such a young age was buried in that place. Looking around, the man noticed that the neighboring stone also bore an inscription. He approached to read it. It said, Yamir Khalib lived 5 years, 8 months, and 3 weeks. The seeker was terribly shaken. This beautiful place was a cemetery, and each stone was a tomb. He began to read the tombstones one by one. All bore similar inscriptions, a name and the exact lifespan of the deceased. But what truly filled him with horror was realizing that the oldest had lived just slightly over 11 years. Overwhelmed by immense grief, he sat down and wept. The cemetery caretaker, who was passing by, approached him. He watched the seeker cry silently for a while and then asked if he was mourning a relative. No relative, said the seeker. What's going on with this town? What terrible thing has happened here? Why are so many children buried in this place? What horrible curse has befallen these people that they've had to create a cemetery for children? The old man smiled. You can calm down, he said. There is no curse. What we have here is an old tradition. I'll tell you. When a young person turns 15 in this town, their parents give them a notebook like this one I have hanging around my neck. And it's a tradition among us that from then on, whenever someone deeply enjoys something, they open their notebook and write down on the left what it was they enjoyed and how long the joy lasted. He met his girlfriend and fell in love with her. How long did this immense passion and the pleasure of meeting her last? A week, 2, 3.5 weeks, and then the thrill of the first kiss, the wonderful pleasure of that first kiss? How long did the minute and a half of the kiss last? 2 days, a week? And the pregnancy or the birth of the first child? And the weddings of friends, and the most desired trip, and the reunion with a brother returning from a far-off country? We note in the notebook every moment we intensely enjoy, each and every moment. When someone dies, it is our custom to take their notebook and add up the time of joy, write it on their tombstone, because for us, that is the only true time lived. As we reflect on the poignant tradition of this town, we're reminded that the true measure of life isn't counted by the days we spend on earth, but by the moments that take our breath away. It's the joy we find in the simple pleasures and the love we share that truly defines our time well spent. Thank you for joining me on this journey through to the Seeker's story. If this tale has touched your heart, please give us a like and subscribe for more stories like this. Your support helps us bring more meaningful tales to life and share them with the world. Remember, cherish every moment, for those are the ones that truly count.